Hello, welcome back to Mind the Gap, where we teach business skills, social skills, and life skills.
In today's episode, we're looking at the topic staying with families abroad, the things you need to know. As we all know, quite a lot of people have been japaing. If you don't understand the meaning of japa, ask me later. So, and people have been japaing around the world. People have been moving abroad from Europe, moving abroad from Europe. Yes, why not? But particularly, people have been moving from Africa to Europe and the United States of America. People have also been moving from Asia, and they have been japaing. So just note the word japa. But today we want to look at the things you need to know, particularly if you're moving abroad and staying with family members first. So let's get cracking. So Tinuke, what do you think people should know if they are moving abroad?
Okay, the first thing is mindset. So what is your mindset? And the reason is because what obtains in the country you're coming from would be different to what obtains in the country you're moving to. So you need to retune your mind really to what is expected. And I'll give an example of our mindset. So if you're staying with a family, if you're coming from Africa, you would assume that your uncle or sister
Or even sibling
or friend
or friend.
should be able to accommodate you with a family of 5, and no matter how small the house is, we should just make it work.
After all, we're family.
Yes, so that's a good part of our African culture.
It is.
That we do, accommodate people. But when you come to a country like the United Kingdom or a country in Western Europe, what do you do with a family of 5 if they're moving in with you in a house that's maybe for 3, a family of 3, or a 3-bedroom house? There have been cases of children going to say at school that they've been moved out of their room because there's a visiting guest, and then the school comes home or calls home or becomes a case with social services. So it's a different culture, it's a different way of doing things, and you just need to be aware, at least set your mind to expect a difference. And when you encounter something that you don't like or is different, try and figure out what's going on, why is it different. So just about mindset.
So mindset is very important.
It's key.
To understand you're moving to a different culture where things are different from where you are coming from.
Absolutely.
And once you understand that, that would help smoothing some difficult situations.
Yeah.
So I would also add that there needs to be, another thing that needs to happen is an honest discussion between the people that are moving and their hosts around expectations. So what are the expectations? So for example, we need to set our expectations right. If not, we may find that, you're moving in with your family member. You might have even been part of the contributor to that person going to university. But we need to set our expectations very, very carefully at the start. So, and have an honest discussions between the hosts. So the host should have an honest discussion with their guests.
Yeah, but what's the discussion
So, for
about?
example, around maybe you may find that, during winter, there's a certain time when your heating comes on.
Okay.
So maybe it comes on in the morning at between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. And after that, maybe in the evening when people come back from work. That needs to be explained very, very well. And people need to understand that, this is how much you earn and this is how much you could pay. You're doing exactly to ensure that you don't go beyond your budget.
Okay.
And some people may not understand that. They will just assume that, you've left us in the house without any heating.
Okay.
So if those conversations happen, expectations will be set. And it will be easy from the perspective of the host, for example, to
So basically just understanding what's expected from the host
Yes.
and from the guests.
Yes.
So everything is discussed.
Everything
Honestly,
as much as you can
as
remember.
much as possible.
We're not straight jacketing people here. Everything as much as you can remember. And once those discussions happen, there is communication, and it means that difficult situations can be better
absolutely,
handled.
they can be avoided. Yeah, it's also not your duty to train, maybe your host or their children. So maybe you've come from a certain culture and you've come into this house and you look at the children and you think, oh, they're spoiled.
They're spoiled.
They don't do this, they don't do that.
All these spoiled
Yes,
children.
or even your host, maybe drinks 2 bottles of wine every evening. It's
He's a drunkard.
yeah, it's you're a guest after all, and someone has extended
And
their
it's a
home.
privilege. It's a privilege that
Absolutely.
you have to stay in their house. So that's how you will
Absolutely.
know certain things that they're doing. So
Yeah.
it's not your place to judge them.
To judge or train them.
Or train their
so
children.
it's about looking the other way. So
Yeah.
you may not agree with lifestyle or methods of doing things, but at the end of the day, they're in their house. If they ask for your advice, then that's a different case.
Absolutely.
But otherwise, it's not your role to want to enforce what you consider to be, the right way to do things or a better way to do things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So very good. So we've got that. I think it's also good to make some financial contributions, especially once you start working and you're staying in the house. You're enjoying the electricity. You're enjoying the gas, the heating, the food that they bring. And there are many other bills that will be paid that you may not be privy to. So they probably paying for their mortgage if they haven't paid it all off. There will be council tax and stuff like that people generally don't discuss because they feel that, okay, they don't want to put too much pressure on you. But it makes sense once you've started to work to start fulfilling some of these. And you may just ask them, what can I contribute? Would you like me to pay for the electricity? Make some financial contributions. We're not saying you should pay all of your money to them, but if you are staying by yourself anyhow, you have to cover all those bills. Yes. So it will be nice.
It's nice, yeah.
To just make some contribution. It might also be around food as well. So
yes, some contribution should be made, and there shouldn't be an expectation for somebody else to pick up your bills, basically. Okay. And essentially, don't overstay your welcome. If you've been able to find your feet, you've got a job, you're settled in. The whole idea of staying with family would be, like a soft landing in a new environment, so you don't have to face
cushioning the impact for you.
Yes, you don't have to face the challenge of paying bills or struggling, but don't let it now become the norm, because you've moved because you want to start your own life. So don't overstay your welcome. It could be a discussion again, going back to the drawing board and say, okay, I'm working now. This is my plan, or this is what I'm thinking about. Yeah.
So don't overstay the welcome. The earlier you leave, the better. You can now be your own boss, and you'll be minding the gap. So thank you everyone for watching this episode, and please do send us your comment. And if you disagree, that's fine as well.
Absolutely. And I know people have been on different sides of the fence with this. Please do send us your comments. Don't forget to subscribe and to like. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you next time.